Everyone, welcome to the show. I have a bunch of new polling data to share with you guys, and it shows that Donald Trump is continuing to lose ground with a bunch of the groups that helped put him back in the White House. And let me say this up front because you guys are going to hear a lot, at least I have, I'm sure it's filtering to you, about, Republicans, they're registering more voters than Democrats. That is true. But the midterms are notoriously, low turnout elections. People just either check out or, they don't really put much stock in the midterms. They aren't aware of them. And the Republicans are registering, in my opinion, a lot of low information voters. And I think the facts would bear that out. I think if you looked at the stats and what these people do on a day-to-day basis as far as news consumption and paying attention to what's going on in politics. So that means they're low turnout voters, right? You take young people, for instance. A lot of young people either aren't even aware, they don't even know that something like a midterm election exists, or they're just checked out between the presidential elections. And then you combine that with the fact that Donald Trump is not going to be on the ballot. And when he is not on the ballot, the Republicans just historically have not done as well. And then, add to that the fact that Trump and the GOP are trying to end mail-in voting right now. You have a complete recipe for Republican disaster. I'm here for it. Keep doing what you're doing, Republicans. MAGA Republicans, keep doing it. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Anyway, they're not registering enough voters, enough new voters to make up for all of the Trump 2024 voters that they've already lost. So keep all of that in mind as you hear that, oh, they're registering more people. I mean, first of all, here in California, where I am, not true at all. Not true. Democrats have overtaken Republicans. But anyway, on to the polling. As of the end of August, so just about a week ago, Trump was hit with another new low in his polling. So take a look at this. According to Quinnipiac, only 37% of voters approve of how Donald Trump's handling his job as president. 55% disapprove. So 37%, I mean, that is getting damn near the bottom of the barrel for him. That is getting very close to his cult members, just the Kool-Aid drinkers that are never going to leave him. And the real key is the independent voters. So you can see here, and as I'm sure you guys all know, the reason this is important is because independents make up far more of the electorate than Republicans and Democrats. So I looked it up. In 2024, 28% of voters were registered Democrats and 28% were registered Republicans. Identical. 43% were registered as independents. And as you guys can see in this Quinnipiac poll, in this article, and let me remove this banner for you guys, the independents are the real key here. So independents have turned against Trump big time. 58% disapprove. Only 31% approve of Trump's job performance. Also, his numbers are abysmal when it comes to various issues. So in this same poll, this Quinnipiac poll, I'm going to run through some of the results for you guys. So you can see in regard to his handling of crime, 42% approve, 54% disapprove, 4% said I don't want to offer an answer, an opinion. Talks to end the war with Russia and Ukraine, only 40% approve, 52% disapprove. Trump's handling of the economy, 39%, an abysmal 39% approve, 57% disapprove. On trade, meaning Trump's tariffs, only 38% approve, 56% disapprove. So again, basically just his cult members approve. And then in regard to the handling of Israel and the whole genocide in Gaza, only 34% approve. That was the worst answer. 53% disapprove. So very much not on the side of, the hardcore Republicans. There was also a Reuters Ipsos poll that was conducted recently, and they had similar results. So they showed Trump with 40% approval, 54% disapproval. They also asked people about Trump's handling of the economy. Only 37% approve of how he's handling the economy, 55% disapprove. There was also a CBS News and YouGov poll, disastrous numbers for Trump in regard to the economy. So take a look at this. 36% now approve of how he's handling the economy. The highest it was last month, in July, 39%. So I should say 36% was August, 39% in July. That was the highest it had been other than May. He had the same amount, and 38% in January. So it continues to go down and down and down. Or I guess it didn't. It went up a little bit and then it came down again. And yeah, now it's at the bottom. It's not as low as it was February and March, but it's getting there. And then take a look at this. So they asked, are prices going up? Are they staying the same? Are they going down? 64% said they're going up. 28% said they're staying the same, which according to them is still not good because they thought prices were very high under Biden. Only 7% say that they're going down. That is absolutely ridiculous. And then you look here, bring up this next one for you guys. A majority of the respondents, they asked them, is the economy getting worse? Is it getting better, staying the same? A majority, 56%, now say it is getting worse. 27% said it's getting better. 17% said, nah, it's about the same. And then check out the latest polling from NBC. So this was just released. This video is from yesterday. They just released the results of their poll.
About President Trump's job performance, a 43% approval rating. He continues to get his lowest marks right here. This is inflation, the cost of living. Just 39% approve of Trump's job performance. He does better when it comes to the border security and immigration, 47% job approval. We did something interesting here, though, Kristen. We also asked about a different facet of this topic, not just the border, but deportations. When we ask about deportations, it falls a little bit, 43% approval.
Yeah. And then take a look at this chart. So this was also from NBC. He didn't talk about this, but this was included in an article. So this tells the same story as the other polls that I just shared. They asked respondents, which of the following emotions best describes how you feel currently about the actions of the Trump administration. So they gave them the options for those on the podcast who can't see this: thrilled, happy, satisfied, neutral, dissatisfied, angry, and furious. As you guys can see, independents are siding more and more with Democrats than with the Republicans. A plurality of independents said, this was the largest answer, said they were dissatisfied, 35%. 34% said neutral, so that was close. But then, a decent amount, 21% total, said that they are either angry or furious. Very few. 1% of independents said they're thrilled, 1% said they're happy, and 6% said they're satisfied. And here's the thing. As I said before, independents are very important. They are the reason that Donald Trump won. They're the reason that Biden won, right? But he is not just losing independents who voted for him last year. There was an Economist YouGov poll, and it shows Trump with an overall approval rating of 41%, but his approval rating among minority and Gen Z voters has completely and totally plummeted. Those are groups that also helped to push him over the edge and win last year's election. So check out this graphic that I have. It shows with every demographic, he is underwater, as you guys can see. So for those on the podcast, with the exception of white voters, every other demographic, he is in the disapproval range. He is underwater. And people under 30 and minorities are the absolute worst for him. I mean, he couldn't get much lower with Black voters. I mean, there's a handful in the country who still approve of him, you know, Clarence Thomas and a few other people, but that's it. So here's the thing, guys. I will give the caveat that there is a lot of time before the midterms, but what we continue to see is a trend in a negative direction for Donald Trump. And it's not just in polling, it's in focus groups. It's online, social media. You guys know I've had just an abundance, a never-ending abundance of negative comments on social media for the FAFO videos that I do. So it's not like, oh, Trump is doing things to make it better and he's going to turn a corner and, he's listening to the people and he's making adjustments. No, he just keeps plowing ahead with his disastrous policies. So how is he going to turn these numbers around? Right? It's not like he's saying, oh, well, you know what? You guys got a point. And my tariffs aren't doing too well. And, it's pissing people off and it's destroying small businesses. And yeah, manufacturing is still down. It's not coming back like I thought it would. So we're going to try a different tack. No, it's not working. And he's still doing what he's doing. So, I mean, again, I guess we should be happy, right? He's destroying MAGA from the inside out. He's doing the Democrats' work for them. So, yay. All right, guys, I will let you know when I hear more. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. Really helps. It is free for you. So please click that button. And if you can donate, it really, truly helps the show to keep it going. So I greatly appreciate that. Thank you all so much again. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.